Hi everyone, this is Lovelyn Johnson. I am a leadership coach, and today I want to talk to you about personal branding. How do you build and shape your brand so others can recognize you and you become a person with strong branding? Have you ever been overlooked for a promotion or a job opportunity despite your qualifications? You're not alone. If you raised your hand, you're not alone because you may have a wonderful qualification. You may be a strong leader, but if you have not taken time to build your personal brand, then it works against you. So today I want to talk about the 4 V's of personal branding. The number one thing, which is probably the easiest, most of us get this right, is the physical presence, or you could call it the visual presence. How do you appear visually to someone? And that has an impact on your personal branding. Let me give you an example. Let's assume your company president tells a group of you that tomorrow Linda, a leadership and communication expert, is going to come and give a speech, and she's an exceptional speaker. Please make time to attend the event. So, you don't know anything about Linda, except now you know there is a lady named Linda who is going to show up and who's going to be speaking on leadership and communication, and that she is an exceptional speaker. The next day, you're at the office, standing at the reception desk and talking to someone. A lady walks in. She's wearing flip flops, her clothes are not pressed, her hair is unkempt. You look at her, you don't think anything much, you just smile and you carry on with your conversation. Within minutes, another lady walks in. She is suited, her jacket is perfectly tailored, her shoes are polished, and her hair looks perfect. And she walks with great confidence. You never thought about Linda until that moment, but your brain right away took you to this could be the speaker for today's event. Why? Because she looked the part. Her physical appearance, visually, she looked perfect because she is a leadership and communication expert and she is a great, exceptional speaker. And sure enough, it appears as if she could be the one. That's why physical appearance or the visual appearance, because we are talking about the 4 V's, the visual appearance gets people's attention, and that is the first impression they form about you before they even hear you speak. One thing I would encourage you to do is if you're in level 5 in your company and you want to be in level 10, let's assume that's the president of the company, and if that's what you aspire to be, dress like how people in that position dress for. You don't have to follow the rigid norms, but always dress up for the position that you aspire to be. The next V that I want to talk about is the vocal presence. This one is much harder than the visual presence. Your vocal presence is how you speak. Your energy, your confidence comes through your voice. And this is a little harder, but I want to take you back to the example that we have been talking about. Linda. So let's assume the lady who's walking towards you is Linda, and now she approaches you and asks a question. But she is speaking with extreme shyness. She's hesitant to ask you. Her question is filled with words like ums and ahs. What happened to the first impression that you had about her? It has started to fade. You right away think this may not be Linda. This is probably someone in the office for something else. So you answer her question and you send her away. Why did you think she wasn't Linda? Because she didn't appear confident. The person who's supposed to give the speech is an exceptional speaker, and just that one on one conversation with you, she came across as someone who's hesitant, who's shy. So, most likely, that cannot be the speaker. Your vocal presence is a branding tool. The study conducted by Yale suggests that people with strong vocal presence often appear more competent than people, even though their message is wonderful. If they have a weaker vocal presence, then they are considered less competent. So, all things being equal in terms of content, if one is able to deliver the message with a little more enthusiasm, with more confidence, with good pauses, with clarity, they are given more weightage and they are considered more competent compared to this person because they didn't project their voice and their voice didn't sound confident enough for the people. So we looked at the visual presence, how you appear, how you look. We talked about your vocal presence, and that is part of your branding because you are either considered a competent person or a not so competent person based on how your voice sounds. So project your voice, be confident, take up space when you are explaining something to someone. The third V that we are going to talk about is the vital presence. I call it the vital presence because what happens to you when you are challenged? Anyone in leadership who wants to climb up the corporate ladder are bound to face challenges. Things are going to get harder. It's not going to become easier. And so, how confident can you handle a crisis? What are you going to do when crisis shows up, when challenges come your way? How will you tackle it? If you're able to be composed and you could handle pressure, that is part of your personal branding. Let's go back to the Linda example. Let's assume Linda is standing up, speaking. She appears confident. She has got a great vocal presence. Midway through the slides, she's missing a few slides. Her team is seated in front. How is she going to handle that? And because people around are watching her, and how she handles pressure tells the person Linda is from within. And often you are respected by how you show up during times of crisis. Not when things are going wonderfully well, but how you show up during crisis moments. And people are watching, and the personal brand would be shaped by how you handle crisis. How are you building to handle crisis? What are you filling yourself with? One of the things I would encourage you is because when you are squeezed, what comes out is what you are filling yourself with. So I would encourage you to consume good contents and be prepared for crisis. Think about different scenarios and prepare yourself because under pressure, we don't rise up to the occasion, we fall to the level of our preparation. So, your vital presence, who you are on the inside, matters. So, fill your cup with good intention. The last one that I want to talk about, with the fourth V, is the virtual presence. We live in a digital age. People are going to look you up. If you have an interview today, before the interviewer even meets you, they are going to look you up on the internet to find details about you. What are you posting? What are your values? What does your bio say about you? What does your LinkedIn show about the person you are? And I would encourage you when you are trying to become someone, keep posting contents based on that. So you are preparing the ground for people for the person you are becoming. Be very intentional with your digital or the virtual presence because, like it or not, people are going to take time to find out about you, and that expands your influence should you choose to use it wisely. To conclude, I would like to emphasize the four V's that we talked about. The first V is the visual presence, how you look. That gets attention. The second V is your vocal presence. That builds connection. It either amplifies your voice or it undermines your message based on how you sound. The third V is the vital presence, and that earns respect. Under pressure, you don't rise to the occasion, but you fall to the level of your preparation. So fill your cup with intention. The fourth V is the virtual presence, how you appear online. Expand your influence with purpose. Research conducted by LinkedIn said that people with strong personal branding had 2.5 times more opportunity than their counterparts. So, if you have built a strong personal branding, then you are most likely to stumble into opportunities than your peer with the same skill set and same qualification. So build your personal brand with intention. You are the CEO of Me Inc. Be intentional in building yourself. Build your brand with purpose. Build your brand with intentions. Build your brand with care. And best of all, build your brand from inside out. When people interact with you, they're going to form perceptions about you, not just by that interaction, but by the whole experience that they get from you. So be purposeful in building that whole experience so they get more value, because you are showing up as a confident, clear, great communicator. And because of that, people know what you do and they can find opportunities for you. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you.